Hey everybody, welcome to our video on putting passwords on Microsoft Access split databases. In today's video we're going to put a password on our backend database and see how that makes us need to adjust our front end. So let me pull up an Explorer window here so we can see what we got. Let's put a password on this backend file. In order to put a password on a database, we need to open a database in exclusive mode. So we're going to start up Access without clicking on anything and use our open dialog box here and navigate to that database right here. And then down here in the bottom right hand corner we have open. We're going to click on this arrow and choose open exclusive. Okay, if you don't do this, Access is not going to let you put a password on your database. So open exclusive. Now we've got our database open in exclusive mode. Now all we have to do is go to, I'm in version 2010, go to the File tab, and here's our button for Encrypt with Password. Click that, type in our password. Let's see, let's just do an easy one here. PASS123. Alright, I hope that you don't use that password on anything that you are considering sensitive, but PASS123. Repeat it twice, click OK. It's going to think about it. And there we go. Let's close that. Now let's open our database. It's going to prompt us for a password this time to get in there. And there you go. Password protected. Now what does this do to the front end? In our previous video we made these two databases, and this is our back end and this is the front end that links to the back end. So let's open our front end and see what that's done to us. What has happened here is each of these linked tables that are linked to that back end, we just password protected, each of these linked tables has a connection string associated with them, and right now that connection string does not have a password in it. We made these links before we put a password on that back end, so now we need to get a password into these connection strings. So in this video we're not using VBA to mess with our connection strings. We want to use what's available to us in the Access interface. So we're going to go to the External Data tab and go to the Link Tail Manager and see what type of luck we can have with Microsoft supplied tools here. So we're going to try to relink these. It'll tell us not a valid password. The reason again is when we simply are relinking in this way, it's not changing the connection strings to these links in any way. It's simply trying to reestablish the linkage. Let's try to prompt for any location, and then we'll browse to that same file. That is it right there. Same thing. Let's get rid of this. Our only option here in this case, we have to get rid of these links entirely and pretty much start over, and that would be going to the External Data tab, clicking on Access, clicking on Link to New Data Source, and then we're going to browse to our, the hardest time finding that folder, I tell you what. Browse to our file, click Open, click OK. Now we have to supply a password. PASS123. Now we'll use the password we just supplied when it builds the connection strings for these tables. Here and here, click OK, and now we're good. Now we're not going to see that connection string when we hover, but in the next video, when we look at the VBA required to see the connection strings, we'll be able to see how that password is stored. And then you could go backwards and use that VBA to set the connection string and change your password or add a password to a database that you've encrypted. Now, why might I put a password on the back end? My main reason would be to quickly keep my users out of the raw data tables. I would much rather them go through the user interface I've built for them. Usually there's going to be some business rules surrounding different columns, and in different scenarios, you can put these values here if you have these values there, things of that nature. If you let users into raw tables, they could do tons of damage accidentally. It's very easy to delete tons of rows by accident when you're in a table. Now, if you've got sensitive data that you're protecting with a password, you're going to need to do something to your front end as well, because like you can see, if you've got this navigation bar up here, your users can still get to the raw tables, even though these tables are password protected. If your front end's not password protected, and you're not really protected, so if security is needed, you might need to secure your front end. You probably will need to secure your front end. One of the great ways to do that is to make it an executable front end. Instead of it being an ACCDB, it'd be an ACCDE. That removes all of your design time tools. It gets rid of the navigation bar, and it locks it down pretty well. So a short video today that was just putting a password on our backend database and showing what that does to our front end. I hope you got something out of this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.